Singapore and China will upgrade a long-standing free trade agreement, which will enter into force at the end of the year. It will level the playing field for Singapore investors, who will benefit from greater market access to China. Now, this was one of the 25 agreements signed at the Joint Council for Bilateral Cooperation, the highest bilateral platform between both countries. Si Hui reports.
It's Singapore Deputy Prime Minister Gan Kim Yong's first time co-chairing the Joint Council for Bilateral Cooperation, or JCBC, and it's a significant one as the platform celebrates its 20th anniversary this year. Against the backdrop of a complex global environment, Mr. Gan says it's timely that both countries step up cooperation in areas like food security and healthcare.
We will continue to tap on our long-standing partnerships in innovation and science and technology to find solutions to these challenges, including new drivers for growth. Our people-to-people exchanges are crucial to our bilateral ties, and we must therefore continue to strengthen connectivity and enhance cultural and educational exchanges.
New deals inked include establishing a green and digital shipping corridor, as well as cooperation on green financing. Leaders also exchanged views on strengthening partnership in the digital economy, with a focus on enhancing cross-border data flows.
中方愿意同新方一道，进一步落实好两国领导人达成的重要共识，围绕全方位、高质量和前瞻性，加强统筹谋划。 不断挖掘新的利益连接点、合作增长点，更好造福两国人民。
On the Suzhou Industrial Park, which marks its 30th anniversary this year, both sides are finalizing a 10-year blueprint to chart the next phase of growth. It aims to strengthen two-way internationalization and joint innovation. Since 2004, SIP's GDP has risen ninefold to nearly 370 billion Chinese yuan last year.
As we commemorate the 30th anniversary of the SIP amidst a fragile global economic landscape, our mission to inspire cooperation, confidence, and connection with the world remains as relevant, if not more so, than it was 30 years ago.
It's still up in the air as to whether there will be a fourth government-to-government project. Nevertheless, both sides will take stock of the JCBC's 20 years as well as review the 3 ongoing projects, including Tianjin's Eco-City as well as Chongqing's Connectivity Initiative. Also presented at the event, a 3D printed sculpture designed by students from the Singapore University of Technology and Design to commemorate the forum's 20 years.
Deputy Prime Minister Gan Kim Yong says Singapore takes a long-term view in its partnership with China. He says the partnership will continue to strengthen over the years as both sides identify opportunities while navigating uncertainty. Mr. Gan was speaking to the media following the conclusion of the JCBC. Si Hui reports again.
It will be Singapore and China's 35th anniversary in bilateral relations next year. But this strengthening of relationship takes place amid an evolving global landscape. When asked how Singapore will navigate its trade strategy with China when a Trump presidency comes around next year and higher tariffs are on the cards, Mr. Gan says Singapore will need to remain flexible.
The outlook, the operating environment going forward is likely to be continue to be very challenging and continue to have significant uncertainties. And from Singapore's point of view, being a small and open economy, we want to look forward to a more stable and secured relationship and a constructive relationship between China and the US. I think this will benefit Singapore as an open and a small economy, and therefore we will encourage US and China to continue to have dialogue, to continue to find ways to work together even as they compete with one another. And for Singapore businesses and ourselves,
Singapore leaders also emphasized the need to build a deeper level of trust between Singapore and China over the next few years. One way is by educating the next generation and having more exchanges at universities.
not just to do research, but also to look at some of the shared challenges that we may have, for example, from healthcare to aging. At the same time, we also want to step up our professional exchanges between the education workforce on both sides, the teachers and the principals, on how we can incorporate the new education technology.
Of the 25 agreements signed at this year's forum, food security resilience is one of the areas of cooperation. Singapore will now be able to export 6 different fish types to the Chinese market, with a joint working group formed to standardize processes for inspections.
In order to help our farms to actually be able to scale and grow and bring down their cost of production, we need to help them find a larger market overseas. So I hope that this particular initiative would be a boost to our 30 by 30 vision and help our farms to know that if they are able to scale up more, they can serve beyond Singapore and enter a larger market.
Overall, DPM Gan called this year's forum a fruitful and substantive one, with both sides agreeing to collaborate and tap on opportunities.
And earlier in the day, Chinese Vice Premier Deng Xuexiang met several Singapore's leaders, including President Tharman Shanmugaratnam. He also called on Prime Minister Lawrence Wong at the Istana, where they discussed new possibilities for cooperation in areas like digital and green economy. Mr. Wong says bilateral ties are in excellent shape, and he looks forward to a closer and stronger partnership with China as both countries celebrate the 35th anniversary of diplomatic ties next year. Senior Minister Teo Chee Hean also hosted Vice Premier Deng to lunch. He says both countries make full use of the JCBC to review and chart the strategic direction for future cooperation. During their meeting, both leaders discussed geopolitical and economic issues, as well as opportunities for collaboration.